Hi, this is Miss MMM from MissMMM.com. I want to get back into doing more movie reviews, as I mentioned in my last vlog, and as I also mentioned, I am not up for writing, so these are going to be video reviews mostly. So I want to say I don't know why I particularly chose this movie. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Age of Adaline. But then I picked this shirt out to wear in the video, and I realized I knew exactly why I was reviewing it. Usually, often anyways, when I review movies, I either feel very passionately about them one way or the other. Either I really loved it, or I just couldn't stand it. And I have written reviews on some movies that I found very middle of the road, and that is how I felt about Age of Adaline. But usually it's because I was excited about those movies or the cast, and I just want to let everybody know, how I feel about that film in particular, whichever one it was. Now, Age of Adaline, in case you haven't seen a commercial for it, or you skip it, or you don't watch trailers or commercials anymore because of the internet, you know how it is. It stars Blake Lively, who we all know as Serena from the TV show Gossip Girl. Boy, do I miss the Vulture recaps. But at any rate, they tell you in the commercial, basically she doesn't age anymore. And you can see from the commercial, it looks like one of those dramedies, kind of like a Nicholas Sparks movie that's like all full of pathos and love. Sorry, I just don't like Nicholas Sparks movies. But look kind of depressing. And when I saw it advertised, it was released last year, 2015. I wasn't particularly interested in it. A friend of mine who likes to go to movies a lot, I remember she posted when she went to see it when it first was released, and she was all about it, and she does have pretty good taste, so I was like, I'll probably eventually watch it. Well, luckily for me, I do subscribe to different services, streaming services, not just Netflix, thank goodness, because not as many films as I would like on there anymore, and especially newer ones. But you can currently, as of this video, end of July 2016, you can see Age of Adaline on Amazon Instant Video, Prime streaming, which I do know they also do monthly now, although I do have the yearly thing for shipping. Or on Hulu Plus. I do believe it's part of the Hulu Plus with Showtime package, which I am also subscribed to. So, like I said, it's about this girl who stops aging. Particularly, she stops aging at the age of 29. Wouldn't we all love that, ladies? Especially for, pop culture and face reasons. But, anyway, I went into it not expecting very much. I'll tell you why I really wanted to, and I think I just mentioned this. They had Harrison Ford listed in there, and I thought, there can only be a reason Harrison Ford would be in this romantic drama about somebody who had stopped aging but had lived a long life, And of course it would have to be that Harrison Ford had dated her at some point. And I so miss seeing Harrison Ford in a role like that, where he's not just like somebody's old dad or granddad or a doctor. God, that was a terrible movie. The Brendan Fraser one. But, that nice, well, I don't want to say nice, but that, Harrison Ford that we all miss and love. So, the great thing about streaming, of course, back in the day we had to rent our DVDs and videos, and if something was crap, you kind of wanted to finish watching it. But with streaming, you can give it a shot, and I kind of try to give movies 30 or 40 minutes to pick up if I have time. And then, if you don't like them, you can turn them off. That's what's great about it. I will admit, this movie dragged on. The runtime is listed at a little under 2 hours. It feels like 2.5 hours. I did not watch this movie all in one go. I actually watched it, I believe, on 3 different occasions, like 3 days consecutively. I just split it up. So, I did like and there will be spoilers in this, although I won't give away everything, but I did like the way that they opened the movie, which was Adaline, her place of work has something, it's like a library of antique books or some crap, but the point, I like reading, it's just, it seemed really out of place in today's world, because that part is like set in the present. I'm pretty sure this is one of those movies where it says the present too, and not the date, but I could be wrong, because I watched it like a week ago. I hate when they do that, by the way, just because who knows when you're going to watch a movie. But, they did start it with her looking at an old projection reel, and that's how she starts thinking about her life. And the projection reel starts like in the early 1900s, and they're talking about like the first baby born in the new year, and even now that's a big deal, even though it's usually multiple babies, because we're so overpopulated in this stupid world that we call Earth. So then you see the reel spin out, and obviously the reel is not all about her. She isn't even the same her that she was. Like, she has to do a different identity because she's so old, and just ridiculously old. I'll leave the exact age up to you watching the movie in case you watch it. But much older than anybody I'm sure that you know who's alive. So it kind of goes that way, so you can see how she started out. You know, of course, it's not going to show everything. It skips forward to exactly what happened and why she stopped aging, which is kind of funny because it's like a pseudoscience thing, but it's supposed to be set like, the reasoning is set like 20 years from now. Also, okay, so the movie has a mystical feel to it, which I do enjoy, and I think if they would have played that up in the commercials instead of the sappiness, maybe it would have done a little bit better at the box office, but I don't think it had a wide release. I could be wrong. But, there's narration over parts in the movie, and I am not against narration at all. I know some people hate it. The narration sounds like Paul Thomas Anderson, who made like Magnolia and Boogie Nights, but I very quickly skimmed the Wikipedia, and it was not made by him. I don't know if he lended his voice to it, but it made it incredibly creepy in the beginning, because just think about Magnolia. So anyway, you have Adaline, and I do think that Blake Lively did a good job, because you do see how she moves with sort of like the grace and elegance and the manner of acting of someone who would be like an older, well-to-do woman than someone who is 29. I'm not sure exactly how old Blake Lively is in real life, if that's like around her. I mean, I know it's around her age, but I'm not sure if she's slightly younger or slightly older. Probably slightly younger. But anyway, I think she did a good job with that. I always did enjoy her work on Gossip Girl. Of course, she's beautiful. You know, she could pull off all the great period costumes in the movie. And usually they're just pretty elegant, crazy hats and hairdos and different makeup and different stuff like that. She's not like the best actress I've ever seen. Possibly if they had another actress who was a little deeper, it might have been a bit better, but I'm really not putting her down. I do think, of course, you have to go through those things, and I'm used to seeing her like the over-top Gossip Girl drunken flinging thing, you know what I mean? This is just a completely different character. So, you get to see her through her life, and this is definitely a spoiler, and I can't help it, because this truly made me giggle, and I loved it. She has a daughter that she keeps in touch with, and when she goes to see the daughter, her daughter is played by Ellen Bernstein. Okay, I am a fan of Ellen Bernstein, particularly her work in, jeez, what's the name of the movie? The drug movie with Jared Leto, and it's gonna kill me that I cannot remember the name of this. I know I'll remember like right after I film this, but Requiem for a Dream. She's amazing in that, and I've always thought she was great in, you know, any film I've seen her in. But the point is that I didn't even know she was still making movies. She's so old that when you watch this, you're like, oh, I get the full impact of how old the main character is, because her daughter is Ellen Bernstein. So, the big deal about the sappy romance thing is actually that she's kind of distanced herself her whole life, because she can't stay in the same place because it's suspicious. And there is some creepy stuff with that with the government too that I like that I won't completely give away. So her mom, her daughter, who would be her mom in another movie, Ellen, I did not learn character names. I'm not up for that. If you don't know that about me by now, but basically her daughter's like, yeah, you need to have love in your life and it's really important and everything. And also I do want to say that her best friend is older, not as old as her character's supposed to be, but older than she looks. So I do like the creative way they dealt with that, which you will see if you watch it. But so it's not completely a romance. There are other things happening. I kind of wished that some of the beginning of the backstory where they were showing, how unusual it was that she was still around. I kind of wish they would have went a little more into that, if it could have been more fantastical or more sci-fi-ish. Also, her job seems kind of flaky in the sense that if you can only live somewhere for so long, I don't know how you're getting like a good job like that, because it seemed, But then again, I guess people lie on resumes all the time, and she's supposed to have money from a good investment. I did like that part too. So, okay, so the film is uneven. It's not the best movie, and it's not the worst movie. She does get a love interest, and he is hot. I believe it's rated PG-13 or something, so it's not like we get to see any kind of great sex scene with that guy. I don't know the actor's name, but yeah, he is very tasty, and I know I've seen him in a couple things. I did kind of feel like I solely liked his character based on the fact that he was really hot and interested in her and nice. And of course you'd want your heroine to have somebody nice, but at the same time, there wasn't a lot to his character where I was like, oh yeah, I'd give up my whole life for this guy. Like, no. So eventually, Harrison Ford came into the movie, and I was like, yes, Harrison Ford. And then younger guy playing Harrison Ford, who kind of looks like Harrison Ford back in the day when he made Raiders. So Harrison Ford gets to give like really great, crazy, old man, still in love, obsessed performance, and that is the main thing. The main reason I would say to watch this, if you are a crazy Harrison Ford fan, like I have been since I was in junior high. And like I said, you just don't get to see him do that these days. And I did love the over-the-top dramatic stuff with him because it made sense in the context of the story. And Blake Lively did do well in the scenes with him that were also over the top because it made sense in the terms of the story. But, yeah, the movie kind of, it could have went two different ways, and I won't give away the ending, but, it's wrapped up in a neat little package for you. And I wasn't sure how I felt about that. I kind of didn't want it to be. But basically, I would give this movie 3 to 3.5 stars. It's possible I might watch it again, just like I said, because I did like the fantasy elements. I love Harrison Ford. To say it again. And it's very convenient because right now, as I said, right now, I don't know when they'll take it off or whatever, or if it will go to Netflix one day. But it is currently, The Age of Adaline 2015 is currently available on Amazon Instant Prime, included with your fee. It is on Hulu Plus, I believe, included with the Showtime fee. I don't think just the standard Hulu. It's okay. There's good, there's bad. It's not perfect. But if you're a fan of any of the main actors, I would say give it a shot. If the premise seems somewhat interesting, give it a shot. There were things I really enjoyed. There were things that were never tied up. It was decent. It was a decent film, and I will give it that. Check it out if you have time and you want to see what it's all about.